evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the 5th edition of the Zuri Awards. My name is Victoria Rubadiri, and I'll be your host this evening. This is exciting, and I always love to be part of events like this where we recognize some extraordinary women who are doing amazing work in their various spheres of influence, and that's what tonight is all about. I must note this as well. Even though you don't walk away with an award, you are all winners tonight, which is why we are calling you not just nominees, but honorees for tonight. So welcome. I think you all deserve a round of applause for making it here, for recognizing the amazing women that will be honoring tonight. Now, this is the brainchild of Go Gaga Experiential, and they thought it best to use a forum and a platform like this to recognize women in various sectors. Tonight we'll be getting through 14 categories and honoring various amazing women. Now, we can't keep the word just in this room. We want you to shout about it on social media. So we have a few hashtags we'd want you to use. There's hashtag Zuri Awards. We also have hashtag Choose to Challenge, which happens to be the theme for this year's International Women's Day. And of course, hashtag IWD 2021. Now, this celebration is different from many other Zuri Awards that we've had in the past. Number one, this thing right here. Let me tell you, the pandemic came to still kill and destroy a face beat. We cannot see the lower half of your face. But at least if you killed the eyes, that's good enough, ladies, if you know what I'm talking about. But we request that at least you keep your masks on if you're not drinking or eating at the moment, just to ensure that you're keeping yourselves and the people next to you safe. At this juncture, I'd like to call on Mr. Mwangi, and he is the Serena Hotel Security Manager, to give a few safety protocols as we prepare for the rest of the night. Mr. Mwangi.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mwangi Jugunda, Security Manager at Nairobi Serena Hotel. On behalf of the Serena management, I want to welcome all of you at this Zuri Award ceremony. I believe you'll have a good and entertaining evening. In regard to safety, the hotel have a siren bell ringer system. If you happen to hear when in this room, please walk through the two open doors behind you and move across to the parking, next to the parking. That is the assembly point. If the danger comes from the front, behind us we have 3 doors. Move through the 3 doors and you'll be guided out of the hotel through the back gate. I want to remind you, we don't intend to do any drill today. So if you happen to hear it, please walk out of the room. In regard to other domestics, when you walk out through those 2 doors, in either side of the room, we have the washrooms. In issues to do with COVID-19, please make use of the sanitizing points which are provided and adequate within the hotel premises. Make sure you don't move the seat wherever it is. Let it remain where it is, sit there, and don't move it. If you are not eating, if you are not drinking, make sure you have your barakoa on for purpose of safeguarding your colleague and your partners. If you happen to be within this area, when you walk out of the room, when you walk out during the buffet time, always make sure you use your plastic gloves provided before you touch any cutlery within that food area. Also have your barakoa on. In those few remarks, I welcome you again, and I believe you'll have a good session as you continue. Thank you. Karibuni sana.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mwangi. Now that we have been adequately briefed, I'd like to invite Dr. Reverend Julia Sweche to lead us in a word of prayer as we begin.
Welcome, everyone. Shall we pray? Our Father in heaven, we thank you for the opportunity of being the light that you've chosen us to be. We thank you for the scriptures that tell us that you desire that we shall all be like that light. Let our light so shine that all men will see our good works and give glory to you in heaven. So we thank you that the Zuri Awards gives us this opportunity for all of us to let our light shine. We pray for a wonderful evening. We pray for the fellowship. And we pray that we'll encourage one another and all the more as we see the days growing near. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Weche. Now I'm going to do something a bit different, something special in the program. The next woman I'm about to introduce is someone I know very well, someone I admire, someone that I featured on some of my shows on television. Her name is Caroline Yambura Nanga. And she is a past Zuri Awards honoree from the 2018 class of honorees. She's the founder of Held Sisters Foundation and Rejuvenating Nature's Beam. Now, I had the privilege of getting an advanced copy signed by her, and I want to invite her on stage right now just to tell us a bit more on what the book entails. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman knows a whole lot about what herbs can do for the body. So you need to see a Kando to give you a few tips on how to take care of yourself from nature. Can we give a round of applause to Caroline?
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Caroline, as Victoria has said. And as you can see, I did not carry anything when I was coming to the podium. As much as I was told to write a speech, I could not, because what I want to share with you is from the deepest part of my heart, the deepest part of my soul. I'm a good storyteller, so I'm going to tell you a story, okay? Are you with me? I'm going to tell you a story. One day, 27th December, the year 2012, I used to have hair, long hair. I went to the salon, and then my salonist took long. Then I decided I would want to do the most daring thing that I wanted to do for that year. Imagine coming from a salon, going to the hospital for a checkup. Who does that, you know? So I went in, and I told the doctors I would want to be screened from head to toe because of the one reason that most of us do. My insurance medical cover was lapsing, and I needed to use every coin of that insurance cover. So I was not sick. I did not feel anything. I was just a typical Kenyan who wanted to utilize the insurance money. 1 month later, I never checked my results. I was going for a date. And I was passing by the hospital that I had done my checkup. Walked in at 7 p.m. and I said, my name is Caroline. I did a test. I did several tests here. I would want to have my results. The two girls that I met looked at me, changed their facial expression, and then they walked away. 30 minutes later, they had not given me my results. I asked, what is wrong? Why am I not getting my results? One of them came to me and told me, I will say it as she said, then translate it in English. Madam, tunaona ni kama uko na cancer. In short, she told me, Madam, it seems like you have cancer. And that was the beginning of my journey. I was diagnosed with cervical cancer at the age of 27. I underwent a rough 3 months of trying to get second opinion, third opinion, fifth opinion, until when I landed on my doctor's hands, who took me through the journey. Why am I telling you this story? Because I would want you to see the genesis of why I'm standing here today. That journey changed my life. I removed my reproductive system at the age of 27, which introduced me to menopause. I went out of my office, wrote my resignation letter. I was working for USAID back then, and walked out and said, no woman will ever feel what I felt when I was alone. Why? Because my journey was most painful because I did not have the psychological support. Few months later, I started a non-profit called Held Sister Foundation. Held is that I hold every lady who is in distress. I wanted to be held, I offered to hold someone. For 5 years, I did purely non-profit. I was working, I still work for the rural woman. I still do what I can. I have no idea who told Zuri Awards about me. I have absolutely no idea because I was working in the rural, and yes, I post some few things on my Facebook. So whoever nominated me, if they are here today, thank you, because in 2017, I was nominated in the impact category for the work that I was doing in the health sector for the women, and my life took a different turn. Now, something you didn't know about that nomination, and maybe I'm talking to the nominees today. That time when I was called, it was the same time that I was named as the top 10 women championing women health in Kenya. But it was my worst time. I was so broke. I was so broken. I had lost 13 women in my hands. I had lost so many cancer patients and I was broken. So when Zuri Award came, and then the other nomination of the top 10 women championing women health right, I thought it was a joke. So when I came, we went to Riverside. I didn't have even transport there, but I couldn't tell anyone because I didn't know anyone. I came and I found women who shared their stories and I was like, wow. Those women shared their stories and I felt like I was doing nothing. Long story short is that we had a gala dinner, 2017 at Kempinski. But guess what? I didn't have a dress to wear. I didn't have transport. I told Muthoni the pain I was feeling. She took me to her house, a stranger. She first fed me and then told me to cry it out. Then she took me to her wardrobe and told me, Carol, pick any dress you want. And I came for the awards and I became a winner when I could not even afford a dress, leave alone a pair of shoes. But they opened their doors for me. On that day, I was very happy. I'll tell you another story. I love telling stories. My boyfriend was as broke as I was that time. So he came and stayed at the parking lot and waited for me with love. And so when I left, I went downstairs and I found him. He held my award. We took photos with our broken phones and we went home very happy. Around that time, everyone was celebrating me. I was questioning, why am I being celebrated when deep down I am dying? And I remember the words that Muthoni told me, the pain you're feeling, Carol, will be a thing of the past very soon. That's why I'm standing here confidently, having bought my own dress now, and the shoes, you know, because she gave me that confidence. After that, it's been 3 years. After that, I was given mentorship. First of all, at Zuri Awards, I was taught how to speak confidently, how to introduce myself. If you've met me outside there, I'm sure you know I know how to introduce myself. I learned it from Zuri Awards. They also introduced me to our women network, Femnet. I became a part of it, and I took advantage. I took advantage of that platform. Every day when I'm broken, there's a time someone offered to give me 50,000 for my non-profit, and I didn't know. I was so confused because I had so many needs, but the money was too little. I called Muthoni and I told her, I have money and I don't know how to spend it. What do I do? She listened and she guided me. She told me, why don't you leverage on technology? I'll tell you for free that today, as I stand here, I serve more than 500 healthy living ambassadors globally. I teach people how to eat well, how to live happy, how to focus on life, fullness of life. because I believe that's my calling. I do that using technology. I have learned those arts through Zuri Awards. For the nominees, I'll tell you something. Many of us were nominated, but few of us would stand here and tell a story. If you don't take advantage of this platform, yes, it has been given, but you have to take advantage of it. You have to be aggressive. Because after that, I applied for a scholarship. I got a scholarship at Africa Women Entrepreneurs Cooperative, and I was taught how to do social enterprise. I also got a scholarship at Tangaza College. I'm seeing some of the people, even some of the nominees we met at Tangaza College. I think I also met Victoria after that, and we became friends. I've met so many beautiful souls here through the platforms that I have gotten, through Zuri Awards. So now, as Victoria has said, that I know herbs, I see plants, I see life. I am the kind of a person, if you didn't have a better word, you would call me Daktari wa Miti Shamba. A doctor of, what is it called in English? Yes, so I love plants, and I have gotten that from my mother. My mother cannot speak in English, neither can she express herself in Swahili. But she has taught me, because one thing I didn't tell you is that after my surgery, I went back home, and my mom started feeding me on plants that I thought they were weeds. And then magically, 6 months later, my body healed itself. So I went back to study. I am standing here as an ethnobotanist. I am standing here as a naturopathic health coach. So literally, I use nature to heal. So I wanted to have this content in a language that I can be able to speak to people who will not understand my mother's language. So I'm standing here as a representative of my mother. Whatever she has taught me, I have documented in a language that you can understand, English. And very soon it will be translated to very many different languages. This is the volume 1 of my book that I would want to introduce you to. That again, Zuri Awards, they have given me an opportunity to tell you about this book. And they have given me an opportunity to launch this book because I didn't have the money to launch that book. See how they come through? So I would want to introduce this book to you. It is called Glass of Life. It is inspired. I'll not talk about inspiration. You'll watch the video. But I would want to invite you to get to know more about the book. And I would want to thank every person who attends Zuri Awards, who donates to Zuri Awards, who partners with Zuri Awards. You might think that whatever you're doing is in vain. No, you touch lives. Because after that, I have been in different platforms. I was Miss President Kiambu County, and I met so many other women who have been nominees of Zuri Award. And I can tell you that those women are inspired by Zuri. So whatever you gave today, your time, your encouragement, when I'm looking at all of you looking at me, wow, you're saying this beautiful woman, I am feeling so encouraged that I'm doing this. So whatever time you're giving, whatever energy, whatever, everything you're giving for Zuri, I want to say thank you on behalf of the nominees, on behalf of all the winners, on behalf of everyone who've ever been touched by Zuri. I just want to say thank you. Kindly clap for yourself. And tell yourself thank you. So I just want to say thank you. I introduce you to Glass of Life before we launch it. And we have some few copies. I would be happy to sell them to you so that I can make money to buy another dress. Thank you very much. I think we are ready with the video. Kindly watch the video as we continue.
My name is Caroline Yambura Nanga. I am the founder, Health Sister Foundation and Rejuvenating Nature's Beam. Health Sister Foundation is a non-profit making organization that focuses on providing cancer patients with psychological support and nutritional support, especially those in rural areas and low-income earners. Rejuvenating Nature's Beam is a consultancy firm that endeavors to provide alternative lifestyle using resources that are locally available and our indigenous foods. I am also the resident naturopathic health coach who helps you and I live a healthy lifestyle. Glass of Life is a book that I have written out lot of passion. One, passion for writing, also passion to document all this knowledge that I have on naturopathy and how we can maximize the life that we have in a glass. Glass of Life is a book that was inspired by my desire to write, but more so by my mother, who introduced me to naturopathic life after I survived cervical cancer, and I wanted to document whatever that she taught me. The target audience for this book is you and I who want to live a healthy lifestyle, you and I who could be preventing or managing existing communicable or non-communicable diseases and would want to live a healthy, simple lifestyle. It is important for us to know that we can actually live healthy in the most simple ways, and this book summarizes it all. When you get a copy of my book, drinking water will not be the same again, because you will have 13 reasons why drinking water is very important for you. My parting shot is that if you wish to own good health, it all starts with the small decisions that you make every minute of your life. The best places to start is by feeding your mind positive thoughts. A stable mental state is just as important as your diet and your physical fitness. When you exude a positive state of being, it acts as a catalyst of everything else in your life, including your body system.
10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Is coming to do some ceremony, I request that I say thank you to Muthoni and Rita. May the good Lord bless you. May you keep doing this. And every member of your team, God bless you.
Fantastic. One more round of applause for Caroline. I request that you stay up on stage. I'd like to call on our chief guest, the Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Interior, Winnie Ngushu, to join us on stage as well as we officially launch the book of this amazing woman. Let me tell you, it is not easy to get up on this stage and speak in front of you, but I must commend you, Caroline, for your candor and for your honesty. Can't wait to read the book, Glass of Life. One more round of applause for Caroline, our guest of honor. Wonderful. Karibu sana. If we can have you stand right over there, Mrs. Gushu, and hold the book there in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The official launch of Glass of Life. Congratulations certainly are in order. Thank you so much. You may take your seat. Congratulations once again, Caroline. Please make a point to see her at some point in the evening. Thank you again, Caroline. Now, at this juncture, I'd like to invite our next speaker. Now, this event would not be possible without some very important people. I'm talking about our sponsors. And we're going to hear from one of them, that is Safaricom, Tabby Kyoko. She is the Senior Manager, Diversity and Inclusion at Safaricom. Just to take us through what this process was like. They put a lot of work behind the scenes into what you're seeing right now. One round of applause for Tabby as she makes her way up.
Kindly allow me to speak without the mask. I'm sure I'm within good distance. Thank you so much, Vicky. Thank you so much, Caroline, for that inspirational story. You are indeed a phenomenal woman. Let's clap again for Carol. As Vicky has said, my name is Tabby Kyoko, and I am the lead of diversity and inclusion at Safaricom. And at Safaricom, the agenda for women is very, very close to our business strategy. And this is an agenda, as a woman, that is very key and close to my heart as well. So allow me, because I know I have 3 minutes, to just read what I have for you this evening. From the Chief Administrative Office, Winnie Guchu, distinguished guests, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to join you this special day when we get to celebrate and honor our outstanding women. Women are doing their best to change the lives of our communities through their work in various fields. Women play a tremendous role in the social, economic development of society. Ladies and gentlemen, women are one of the main pillars of social and economic development, but they are often underappreciated. Their role as leaders has seen greater advocacy, which has borne fruit to the advancement of women in their careers, public life, domestic places, where their voices have become significant. Ladies and gentlemen, today, our women are no longer leaving anything to chance, as they choose to challenge the world, which is in line with this year's theme of International Women's Day. Yet, women today face some of the most difficult challenges. And I'll quote a report published by the United Nations last year in April that shows that the pandemic is deepening the pre-existing inequalities, exposing vulnerabilities in social, political, economic systems, which in turn amplifying the impacts of the pandemic. The report underlined the urgency of what needs to be done to diminish the inequalities that women live with around the world every single day. At Safaricom, our purpose is transforming lives. We live out that purpose by putting people before our profits. In 2016, Safaricom adopted 9 of the 17 global goals identified by the UN in 2015 as a vehicle of eliminating extreme poverty and making the world better for everyone by 2030. One of the goals we track at Safaricom is SDG 5, which calls for gender equality and empowering of girls and women. And closely linked to that is goal number 10 of reduced inequalities. For the last 20 years, through our diversity and inclusion platform, we have been able to give our women opportunities in our Women in Technology and Women in Business programs, among others. The Women in Technology, WIT in short, programs seek to address the issue of fewer women applying to study what we call STEM, technology-related subjects, at tertiary level educational institutions, and even earlier in the formative years. For women in business, we are promoting women-led businesses by ensuring we give them opportunities to be our suppliers in technology, events, and other related fields. We mentor women through various in-house programs as well as through the Safaricom Mowgli Mentorship Program. These initiatives are to groom women and build capacity for leadership. We are committed to equal gender representation at all levels with our target to achieve gender parity at senior level management by 2025. In conclusion, it is our hope that collective efforts to support gender equality will lead to more women increasingly taking up important roles in all spheres of society. As Safaricom, we will continue doing our part in supporting women in leadership, businesses and technology, and supporting our society on its march towards achieving equality. As I wind up, I choose to challenge unconscious bias against women. What do you choose to challenge? Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tabby. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to direct your attention to the screens.
Yakari shirini safari anza ya kutunganisha kama Wakenya. Twende tukiuke, twende tukiuke. Let's go beyond, let's go beyond. Let's go beyond. Mimi na wewe tukibuni kazi nzuri ya kujivunia. Let's go beyond, let's go beyond. Kwa juhudi na matumaini, twaelekea kesho pamoja. Twende tukiuke, twende tukiuke. Safaricom.
One more round of applause. Thank you to Tabby, Safaricom, and all other sponsors and partners tonight. Now, Tabby mentioned the importance of having women in very important positions. And speaking of a woman who holds a very important position, our next speaker and guest of honor, the Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for Winnie Gushu.
Okay, to all the nominees of the Zuri Award, to the panel of judges who took part in choosing the nominees and the winners, the sponsors of Zuri Award, the Zuri Award organizers, Rita and Mudhoni, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening. Yeah, it's Friday night. And you must be looking at me and saying, please be brief and to the point. We need to get to the next stage because there's also curfew. So it's the end of the day. I'll be very brief. And just to say, to bring the apologies of my colleague, Rachel Shebesh, who was supposed to be with you this evening, but they have functions in Samburu for International Women's Day. And I just want to start by saying congratulations to Yambura and congratulations to all the Zuri Awards nominees who have been there in the past, who are going to receive their awards this evening. Big congratulations from the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Public Service and Gender. And I just want to start by saying something that is very, very dear to me about women. When I was a young girl, I won't tell you how many years ago because you're going to guess how old I am. I used to work for the Federation of Women Lawyers. And every day we went to work, we were helping women survive different forms of violence. So, coming to this meeting, when Shabesh told me, Winnie, please go, I said, I'll go. Because that is I just felt, and we really miss that work that we did back then. Because it was with a lot of passion, so I can really feel what Yambura Caroline is talking about when she stands here. And the other thing I want to tell you is a story about a lady I met. When we were young and happy and hanging, my friend W invited, who is in this room, I don't know where she is, but my friend W invited us to, oh, there she is. She invited us to their home in Olkalau for a weekend. And in Olkalau, you can imagine we are 20-something, very happy, carefree with life. And she told me, you know the work that you do, I want you to meet this woman. The lady was working at the farm. And she said, this lady has done an amazing thing. And I really want you to tell her story. She gave birth to a premature child. And she made an incubator out of cow dung. And she placed her baby in the incubator and placed that incubator made of cow dung next to the fireplace, and she lived with that child for 1 month, 2 months, and the child survived. I don't know how old that boy is. He must be grown up. He must be over 20 years old. I wonder whether he knows the story. The mother died a few years ago, and her story is not documented. But she never went to any health center, and she never did things out of training. She just thought that the only way to save her child is to build this incubator and put it next to the fire until the child is of age to grow. Why am I telling this story? It's because women, all these women seated here, and with the support of all the men sitting in here, women are going through something. All the women you see are going through something. But all you see is radiant smiles on their faces. But they are carrying a lot. So where I come from, in my mother tongue, they say, you see the women with broad smiles, but what they are carrying inside is heavy. But I think that's the way we cope and deal. That's how come we are so talkative. We talk about everything. We met five strangers in the room, and we almost know something deep about each and every woman who was seated in that room. So for the women who are brave enough to come out and speak, we applaud them. Because many of them are quiet. And not because it's something bad or something they're ashamed of. We are not all brave enough to stand out and speak about the things we are going through. And I want to applaud Rita and Muboni. When I came here this morning, because I'd never heard of Zuri Awards, so I had asked Shebesh, what is Zuri Awards? So what am I going to do there? And I said, well, she told me it's they celebrate women, and So I said, no, let me come and meet Rita this morning to just understand what's going on. So when she told me about how the women are selected, no, first of all, when I was leaving a very serious meeting, you had to work for the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Governments. That's very heavy stuff. So when I said I'm going to this meeting, I need to go and get a brief for Zuri Award. They said, what's Zuri Award? No, they award women. Oh, so you're getting awarded. I said, no, I'm not getting an award. Say, how come you're not getting an award? I said, I don't know. But anyway, maybe I'm not deserving for the award. Let me go and hear, and I'm the guest of honor, and I'm not even receiving an award. So when I came to meet Rita, Rita told me, no, these awards. So I asked, so who do you give these awards to? Which women do you give these awards to? They said, we give the ordinary woman. There are women who are known, seen on TV, everybody knows them, And you know, every time you're celebrating women, these are the women, it's kind of boring to keep seeing the same faces, and then you go to a function and you find, oh, it's Winnie Gushu. How boring, we know her. It's so boring, we know her, she's always, you know. So that's really boring stuff. So I got very excited, and I said, these ladies are from, nobody knows them, you've never heard their name, you're going to meet them today for the first time. So my second disappointment is I went to the program and I said, wow, I'm sure I'll be the last one to speak. But then in government, the guest of honor speaks last. So I knew that I was going to speak last. So I was going to have the advantage of listening to these amazing stories. So I looked at the program, I'm like, what? Are they going to talk? Because I'm really keen to hear their stories and to be able to celebrate them and to be able to give them platforms where we can be able to mentor. Because as we exit, we must make sure that these young, beautiful women are able to come in. So we want to see who you are. We are very interested in knowing who are these women. The space is huge, but there are very few women. And very few women want to come out. So if you have been recognized, we want to carry on with this journey. And to say that even CAS Rachel Shebesh will be very interested to see who these women are, and we are able to mentor you. We have programs where we pick, as women leaders, people who come and just volunteer and just spend time with us and see what sort of things we do. Not so that you become a politician. If you're interested, you're most welcome. It's a very good space. But also to be able to see there's a lot of leadership skills that you can be able to pick up. So I really look forward to hearing your stories, to interact with you, and to be able to have an opportunity to be able to interact with you and see how we can continue to mentor you. So for all of you in this room, you've all been invited. Some of you are going to get awards. Some of you are not getting awards, but I think every woman is an award winner. I think every woman is an award winner. Only that some stories get known and heard, others are inspiring, others are, you know, so every woman, every day. Yesterday, as I was sitting in my house entertaining my friends, and they were talking about how the mind is always working. So two of them had come visiting, they're on holiday, and they didn't have their children, they didn't have their husband, they didn't have to think about their house because I'm cooking the food, I'm doing everything. So she said, you know, I can't believe how free I feel that my mind is just not jogging. I'm not thinking about food, I'm not thinking about the house help, I'm not thinking about the gas, I'm not thinking about electricity being disconnected, I'm not thinking about kids being picked or dropped. Yeah, we had somebody whose water was almost being disconnected today. So women are always sorting. Women are just sorters. They get a phone call in the middle of going to the podium to give a very serious speech. The house helper said, "Hakuna gas." So you're like, please. So you go, this lady here, she said she sorts it out through M-Pesa. So we are always sorting. So by the minute I go and sit down there, my phone may beep and say something. So we are always sorting things. Sorters, sorters, sorters. So to finish, this young girl calls day before yesterday, and I used to be in state law office, and I was sorting out marriages. I did not know marriages as such an important thing. So when we said we are going to close marriages, I was told it's an essential service. I said, no, marriage is not an essential service. People can wait until COVID is finished, then they get married. Then people said, you know, some people, it may depress them. So I learned it's something very, very important for young people, and don't joke around without space. So this girl calls me and says, these people have given me an interview to come and talk about, you're interviewed before you get married, so that they're sure you're the husband and you're the wife, and you're both agreeing to get married. So you go for an interview, and then you're cleared, and then you're given. So these people had set their wedding date, and then they were given a date for interview after their wedding date. So this girl calls me in distress and says, oh, you know, Auntie Winnie, these people, they've given me a date after my wedding. What am I going to do? And you know, so I say, why are you calling? Why are you calling? Where is the man who's marrying you? He should be the one who is in distress, because a young man may just come and sweep you and you're off. So it should be the young man who should be doing this thing. So as I finish, can we learn to stop sorting everything as women? Stop sorting. Sort yourself out. Sort yourself out before you start sorting other people. We need you alive to sort. So start by sorting yourself out. So I wish to congratulate, as I finish, all the nominees, and to celebrate all the women and all the gentlemen in the room, and to wish you a very happy Women's International. You see now, I can't sort myself out. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. One more round of applause for our guest of honor. If nothing else, sort yourself out first. CAS Gushu, thank you. And one thing that really stuck out to me from your speech was that mother who made an incubator out of cow dung. I mean, it just speaks to the ingenuity of women, how innovative, how strong, how smart we are. And I really wish her story could have been broadcast to many other people, just to inspire women out there that they can actually sort themselves out. And speaking of women who have been very ingenious, smart, innovative, there was a panel of judges who were responsible for picking them. They poured through hundreds of applications, 14 categories to pick the nominees and the winners that you'll be seeing tonight. And just to kind of let you know how painstaking that process was, I'd like to invite our next speaker, who will be the judge's representative, Wavi Mungala, and she's the head of corporate communication and customer experience at the Higher Education Loans Board. Round of applause for Wavi.
All right. So to the Chief Administrative Secretary, Madam Winnie Gushu, invited guests, nominees, the Zuri Awards Secretariat, my fellow judges, who I will introduce shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Okay, as you've heard, my name is Wavi Mungala. I currently work at the Higher Education Loans Board, and I'm honored to serve my third year as a Zuri Awards judge, and to really be part of the team that is honored to read and listen to the beautiful and committed journeys such as the one for Caroline Nanga. Wasn't that just amazing? So we get to read a lot of those stories. I think this year we had 168 entries. Yeah, so it wasn't always easy. I think that WhatsApp group had its seasons of, asking each other questions, and because of COVID, we actually had to, have meetings on Zoom and figure out how to use collaborative tools online and get the judging done. So there wasn't the physical get-together that we have experienced, at least this being my third year as a judge. The last couple of years, we got together as judges, But this year it was online. And there's a few new judges this year that I'm actually meeting today. because we never got to meet physically. We got to see each other online. So it's really nice to actually have a physical event. But just to bring in some context, from a judge's perspective, in terms of International Women's Day, which is going to be Monday, 8th of March, and countries all over the world will be celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women and rally around gender equality. And this is what we're really looking for as judges. And like it was said, it's really about the ordinary woman, you know, and what they're doing. But how they're doing it in such a committed manner. Are we seeing sustainability in it? And, you know, if we look at the Sustainable Development Goals, we don't just want to see them as something that is big and the SDGs and the what have you. There's a lot of sustainability in the activities that we do on a regular basis. And we might not put an SDG to it, but that is what we were looking for. Now, the spirit of Zuri Awards, I think, embodies Sustainability Development Goal number 5, which concerns gender equality and is the 5th of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations in 2015. The official wording for SDG 5 is achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Now, if we look at, and I'll give you a little bit of homework. You know, sometimes when you sit as a judge, you have to read up on some of these things so then you can get the context for it. I'll ask that we take some time to understand what the SDGs are, which SDGs matter, because in our everyday life, we do live some of these SDGs. And if you look at the targets for SDG 5, they include ending all forms of discrimination against all women and girls everywhere, eliminating all forms of violence against women and girls, eliminating harmful practices such as child, early and forced marriage, and FGM, recognizing and valuing unpaid care and domestic work through provision of public service, infrastructure, and social protection policies, and you know, ensuring women's full and effective participation and equal opportunities for leadership at all levels of decision making in political, economic, and public life, ensure universal access to sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights. We are the other SDG 5 target is also about undertaking reforms to give women equal rights to economic resources, enhancing the use of enabling technology, and adopting and strengthening sound practices and enforceable legislation for the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls at all levels. Let me end this by reminding you of a quote by a lady by the name of Amy Taney that says, "The world needs strong women who will lift and build others, who will love and be loved, who will live bravely, both tender and fierce, women of indomitable will." So to the nominees, while we appreciate and acknowledge the over 168 entries received this year, not all entries translated to nominees, and not all nominees will translate to honorees. And so you might find categories where there is no honoree, because the entries might not have met the certain criteria for that particular category, but we recognize you and appreciate you. And just like the speakers who have come before me, the opportunities are immense. If you are in this room, utilize this opportunity. Don't walk away and say, oh, you know, so I didn't win. I think some of the people who've had fantastic opportunities were not necessarily the winners. They worked the room because they got the opportunity to be here. So even if whether you win or don't win, work the room. You've gotten to meet other nominees. What are people doing? So let's work together. And at this juncture, I would like to introduce and acknowledge judges for the 2021 Zuri Awards. And I'll start off with the senior judges, because we have a set of senior judges, and in the true spirit of mentorship, we also have mentee judges. because we cannot sit on these platforms forever, right? So I'll start off with the senior judges. The chief judge, who has actually allowed me to speak today, yay! The chief judge is Dr. Reverend Julius Weche, founder and CEO of ACAD Education Group Africa. He's actually opened with a word of prayer. So, Chief Judge, please join us on the podium. Thank you very much. The next judge is Christine Curry, Program Officer at the Ministry of Public Service and Gender. Miss Christine? No? All right. The next judge is Esther Kinuthia. She's a digital expert in Ireland. So you see, we are working globally, yeah? And then we've got Miss Jane Gitau, Senior Corporate Communications Officer, Kenya Seed Company, and Chair Lady Greenbelt Movement. Welcome to the stage. We've got Lillian Dinda. Miss Lillian, there you go. These have been judges for a number of years, and I think Chief Judge has been there since the inception. Then we've got the next senior judge, Mwanahamisi Hamadi, media personality, news producer, Citizen TV. Welcome to the stage, looking beautiful in purple and white. Then we've got Mr. Maureen Mwangi, Executive Director and Lead Consultant at Ultimate Management Solutions. All right, and now to the mentee judges. Now, these are young, upcoming youth. And, as we're going through all of this judging, and they go like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? How does this work? How do you know to leave this and not, and all of that stuff. So it was a really interesting learning experience and trying to explain the spirit of Zuri and walk them through it. So the first mentee judge is Miss Abigail Wairimu-Mburu, a member and mentor at ACAD Education Group Africa. We've got, yes, welcome on stage. We've got David Karaoke, founder and group chairman, CAES International Limited. David, welcome on stage. And then we've got Nyanchama Ataya, also from the mentorship program, ACAD Education Group Africa. Where's she at? Okay. Awesome. And finally, the last mentee judge is Sami Kibe, data-driven digital marketer, content creator, and startup mentor. Is he here? Okay, all right. So these are the judges before you. And before we take a photo, as I conclude, I have one ask of all of us this evening. And in terms of showing your support and solidarity. So I will ask that you raise your hand high. Raise your hand, raise your right hand. All right? Correct? And that you commit to choose to challenge and to call out inequality. Here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. On behalf of all the judges, a warm congratulations to the 2021 Zuri Awards honorees, and well done to all the nominees. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. One more round of applause for the judges panel. Thank you, Wabi. And thank you to the judges who did an amazing job. You could see how serious that threshold is. Some categories don't even have an honoree. So for the ones who earned it tonight, you really earned it. Congratulations. Now, to move on to another segment of individuals who also were critical in this process of selection are the auditors. So to ensure that this was transparent, that it was free and fair, I know we live in a day and age of prayers and tenders, but that approach was not applied in this process. So I'd like to invite our next speaker, Maureen Mwangi. She is the audit manager from Ernst & Martin, and they were the audit firm that were in charge of looking at the transparency of this process. Round of applause for Maureen.
To the chief guest, all the invited guests, the nominees, good evening. It's an honor to be here again this evening for the celebration for our women who have made a great impact in the society and also who are doing a great job in every sector they are doing. And a big thank you also to the organizers of Zuri Awards. I mean, it has taken a lot of, it's a lot of work taking up all the categories and to ensure that all the women in the different industries are included. There's inclusion in this celebration. And we want to thank you for that. I want to thank our judges. They've done an amazing job. And as Wabi has said, it was a very rigorous exercise, a lot of work, a lot of consultations, a lot of going through those, the videos, their videos. What I want to confirm is that the process was very independent. The judges did their work independently. They sent their results, and then we're able to tally and see who is coming up as the winners. And so I want to confirm to those who will get the awards, those who will not get, those who entered the various categories but were not able to be chosen, that the process was fair and there's always another chance for you to put up your application. And I wish all the best to the nominees and may you continue with the good work. It's a good opportunity now for you to put forward your brand, make it more visible, and I'm sure with the help of Zuri, of the Secretariat at Zuri, they'll be able to help you to move to the next step. I met some of the nominees and, you know, they were not sure when they were applying whether this thing is real. You know, they're like, does it really happen? Can I really be nominated even when I apply for this? And they're surprised that they're actually called for, they were actually nominated. And it's because, as it has been said, it is for the ordinary people. It is for the ordinary women. It is not for those who are already known. In fact, I saw as Rita was, we were doing some consultations and you find that they're dropping some names that are already known. Some names that are already, maybe have won awards before. And so it's a very good exercise and we applaud you, Zuri Secretariat, that you may continue with the good work. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Maureen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached that point of the program where we want to give out some awards and certificates to many of those unsung heroes. Now, before we get started, technology doesn't want to deal with me today. Can you hear me now? Fantastic. Before we get started, I want to take you through just a few housekeeping rules as we engage the stage. So we will begin with calling out the award category, and that will be followed by the award presenter. Once you hear a name, please make your way up on stage, after which we will call out the nominees. Now, the award presenters will enter the stage right. Okay? So that's to my right, your left. And when your name is called, all nominees are requested to come on stage to get their certificates. You will enter stage left All right, that is your right. Please leave the stage. I hope you can hear me. When the nominees leave the stage, we request that you exit in the opposite direction. Thank you, sir. We had some competing technology here. We ask that you leave or exit the stage in the opposite direction that you entered the stage. I hope that makes sense. Do I need to do a demo? I think we're on the same page. Fantastic. So without further ado, and also a quick request from the photographers, if you see a lens in your face, please engage them with a smile. Now, like Tara Branks had told us, smile with your eyes, because I know we have masks on. So for those of you who don't know how to do it, tonight is your chance. So please engage our photographers. We want to get some nice photos for the evening. Also, I hope you're sharing some pictures from the night. The hashtag, let me remind you again, hashtag Zuri Awards. Also hashtag Choose2Challenge and hashtag IWD 2021. Let's get into some awards, shall we? And our first category of the night is agriculture. I'd like to call on stage Miss Katrine Haydwin, and she is the Deputy Head of Delegation from the European Union to Kenya. Welcome, thank you so much. She will be presenting the certificates and the award for the agriculture category. Let's take a look at the nominees. There they are. Maureen Mwangi from Maureen Brands. Round of applause. If you hear your name, kindly make your way up. Judy Matu from the Association of Women in Agriculture, Kenya. Rachel Wanyoke from Solidaridad, East and Central Africa. That is a mouthful. Congratulations. Last but not least, Wairimu Mushai from Aqua Hub, Kenya. Congratulations, ladies. Kindly make your way up and receive your certificate. Thank you so much for your contribution in the area of agriculture. Congratulations. Fantastic. Congratulations, Joreen. You may take your seat. Wonderful. And to Judy Matu, congratulations. Thank you so much. One of the nominees in the agriculture category from the Association of Women in Agriculture, Kenya. Congratulations. I understand Rachel is not with us, but Wairimu, kindly take the stage and accept your certificate. Fantastic. And job well done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're itching to find out who is the honoree in the agriculture category. And we're just about to find out. The honoree for this category of agriculture is Judy Matu. Congratulations. Very good.
On the beach.
Well-deserved. You may take your seats. Thank you, Katrine. And Judy, you may take your seat as well. Let's get to know Judy a bit more. I direct your attention to the screens.
My name is Judy Matu. I'm the National Chair Lady for the Association of Women in Agriculture Kenya, AWAC. We focus on building the capacity of small-scale women in agriculture to become informed decision makers and key industry players. When I was working for the government, I was working for the Mombasa County government, I saw the challenges that women were going through, and I realized there's something I can do beyond to reach to those and make sure that there's a change and transformation in their lives. We have had quite a number of success stories. We have changed them from being casual laborers into self-sufficient and self-sustaining business agripreneurs. Women who had nothing, no money at all, are now making $20 per day. And those who are baking are making around $8 per day. That is pure transformation. In fact, during his 12th presidential address, the president actually acknowledged the good work we are doing in the COVID crisis. We are focused on 3 key SDGs: food security and nutrition. We are also eliminating poverty because we are building some kind of empowerment economically. And because we are dealing with women, then SDG 5 comes in critically and strongly.
Fantastic. One more round of applause for Judy. Well deserved indeed. Moving on to our next category of the night, which is business. I'd like to call on Grace Gatere, a lecturer from the Technical University of Kenya, to present this next category. Now, we were forewarned about this, right? This category has 1 nominee, but no honoree, but nonetheless well deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the nominee in the business category. And that is Emmanuella Aboar from Trans-Solution Services Africa. Make your way up. This is your moment. Congratulations. Thank you so much for your contribution in this area. It must have been quite a tough and stiff competition, but she came out on top. Congratulations once more for Emmanuella. A job well done. Fantastic. Thank you to Emmanuella and Grace. You may take your seats. To our next category, education. I'd like to invite Wavi Mungala, one of the judges, to join me on stage. She, of course, is the head of corporate communication and customer experience at HELB. All right, let's take a look at the nominees. Elizabeth Muriuki from Serene Haven CBO. Tina Lugano from Green Kids Club, operating under Kids. And last but not least, Vilma Lumadi from Saniaga Community Libraries. Ladies, congratulations, congratulations in a critical sector and segments such as education. Thank you so much for your contributions. It does not go unnoticed. Ladies and gentlemen, the unsung heroes in the area of education. Congratulations, Elizabeth, and to you, Tina, as well. And last but not least, Velma, as she walks up to receive her certificate, once again, in the category of education. And as we wait to hear who the honoree in the education category is, we don't have a drum roll, but it is Tina Lugano from Green Kids. Congratulations. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Yambura, once again to Tina. And thank you, Wavi, as well, for presenting that award. Our next category is finance. And this category has 1 nominee who also happens to be the honoree. So I'd like to call on Judy Mwangi, CEO of Tactive Consulting, to make her way up. She will be presenting in this category. And as she makes her way up, I would like to announce the nominee, who is Ms. Nadia Mukami from Financial Discipline. Nadia, kindly make your way up. Let's encourage her. She's coming all the way from the corner of the room. Congratulations are in order for a job well done. Congratulations, congratulations. And surprise, surprise, the honoree in this category is none other than Nadia Mukami. Congratulations. And we have to get the trophy in there. Wonderful. One more round of applause for Nadia. Well deserved. Congratulations, congratulations. And my apologies, we didn't get to see a bit more about Tina, so let's play that video, after which we will also get to know more about Nadia and her organization.
My name is Tina Lugano. I run a Green Kids Club. The organization is all about empowering children on environmental conservation. Okay, I started way back in 2013 when I started working with children on talent development. And through that, I showed the potential of the children that they have on innovation and creativity. And that prompted me now to start them to at least to engage them more on environmental conservation, being there's a problem that we are facing, and the children were coming up with the different ideas on how they can conserve the environment. My biggest achievement through our program is seeing our children achieving and being recognized both locally and international. Winning this award will mean so much to me because it will be a boost for the children. People will get to know what we are doing. People will get to know what the kids are doing to save our environment from where we have put it us as the elders. So for us, what we do on the environmental conservation